Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Casting About. Now that statement, welcome back, could apply to both of us equally well. Back from vacation, first time I'm actually solving a puzzle that's not pre-recorded in a while, so good to be back. Now today's puzzle is back with the artisanal Sudoku series from James Sinclair, and this is the third puzzle in the series where there's usually two different puzzles for us to enjoy. Now, there's actually four different versions. There is essentially kind of two dimensions to it. One where there's additional clues to make this a bit easier, and one where there is with and without fog. So essentially you can pick and mix basically with fog and extra clues. Now, knowing this group and how much you guys love fog, I am not going to be leaving links down below for the non-fog versions. So there will be two links below, one without the extra clues, that's the one that I'm going to be playing right now, and one with the additional clues. Now, when you have a title called Casting About, and when you actually see the grid, kind of makes sense that I think James is talking about fishing. So you've got there Sleuth fishing about for puzzles, which, to be fair, is kind of how I actually pick my puzzles. I'll kind of look around, look for something that looks fun, looks like it's decent rules to feature and actually enjoy. Last thing to mention before I actually take a look at today's puzzle is James has given this a 9 out of 10 rating, so you're going to have to forgive me if it's a bit of a clumsy solve. Think of it as just a little bit rusty, but obviously that's why the extra clues are available, which will make it a little bit more approachable, closer to the kind of 1-star difficulty rated that we're used to for a weekday. Anyway, enough of the intro, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Casting About by James Sinclair, and just let me just double check. Yep, it's recording. So, rules-wise, we've got the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules, fog, arrow sums, diagonal sums or little killers, and I think that's everything, although I can see some asterisks, so there's a bit of a twist on the normal variant. So let's just quickly walk through these. Normal Sudoku rules apply, you know what that means. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row. Every column, of course, every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual there. Then we have correctly placed digits clear the fog around them. So if this cell happens to be, let's say, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. I'm so sorry about that. If that digit happens to be a 1, which we now know it isn't, sorry, it will reveal all of these surrounding cells fog and kind of give us a clue as what's going on next. Then we have arrow sums. We can see the tip of the arrow. So the sums of the digits along an arrow is equal to the digit in the connected circle. Along these digits can repeat, and these digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. Arrows do not cross or overlap, and all arrow sums are single digit. In asterisk now it says all arrows occupy at least 3 cells, not including the circle. So obviously when you're talking about fog, this is actually helpful information. So I'm just going to kind of draw something here. Let's assume that this is the arrow, and it's leading into a circle in here. What it's saying is that these 3 cells, and notice it has to be at least 3-cell arrow, will come up to some value, and this value will have to be written in here. So, and I can repeat digits. I could have a, let me just double check, I'm definitely pencil marking. I could have a 1, I could have a 2, I could have a repeat 1. And then that's a sum of 4, and that would be inside the circle. All right, then we have diagonal sums. Numbers outside the grid give the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonals. These digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. So it's saying these 2 cells add up to 10. This cell is a 2, this would have to be an 8 to make sure it adds up to 10. These 3 are adding up to 6, etc., etc. And we've got a very lengthy one here adding up to whatever that value is, 32. So, as always, to play along, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. 4-minute intro. Right, so obvious things. 6 diagonals. We are clearly being pointed in a specific direction here. These can only be 1, 2, 3. The cells are unique because they are oh, sorry, yeah, I did skip something where it says these digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. So normally little killer clues, as is the case here, can have repeat digits. Except, of course, it's pointing to a diagonal within the same box, so there are no repeat digits. To get to 6, this is entirely forced as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For the 10 clue now, which is normally composed of a low digit and a high digit, now that 1, 2, and 3 are gone, it can only be 4 and 6. Lots of info, no break-in. Interesting. It felt like, I don't know what happened there. The camera probably broke. Am I still recording okay? Yeah, looks fine. Right, so the 32 clue now. You see, the challenge is, I mean, this is interesting in that this is 4, 5. And this is another 4, 5. So I'm already at 18. But these digits have a lot of opportunities, I guess. I mean, like, including double ones. So this is not the direction I should be looking just yet. Right, of course. So the other thing that we've been given is that these arrow sums are 3 cells long. And they're all going to a cell that is at least 4, because I've used the 1, 2, 3, so this is at least 4. So realistically, I can't go bigger than 4 because it'll be 4, 4, and then a 1 to get to a maximum of a 9 because it's only a single digit. So, right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. And this is kind of dancing through the 1, 2, 3s and the... Yeah, I am tempted to pencil mark this now. This is at least 4, 5. This is at least 4, 5. This is at least 5, 6. So we're already at 9, 18, another 11. I'm going to say 29. And then 30, 31. So we only have 1 degree of freedom. So therefore the 5 is forced, the 4 is forced, the 4 is forced again. Then of course we are in trouble. Remember how I said, yeah, so if I have 4, 5 in here, and this is 6, you can see just how much pressure it's now putting on these, especially the one that has a 4, whichever one it is. Given the next one has to be 4. Right. Okay. Sorry, let me state some obvious statements. If I have a 4 in any one of these, and the next cell along is a minimum of 4, because 1, 2, 3 is gone, I can't exceed the 4 because they're at least 3 cells long. So wherever they have the 4, it would have a 4 next to it. And notice now, I don't have a 4 here. And then the 10 clue says I don't have a 4 there. And then the 32 clue is saying I don't have a 4 here or there. So none of these are 4s. This one is a 4 and we have our break-in. And then we have another 4 because that's the minimum. And then double 4 leads to 1, leads to 9. And we are well and truly started. Fantastic. This is not a 1. This is not a 1. Doesn't exactly help me though, does it? So the 3, I mean, the problem is the 1. That's the main challenge that I have. So this cell, for example, we know it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4, 6. It can be, of course, 5. I think it can even be a 7. I could do 1, 7, 1, and 9 again. So the fact that all of these are from 5, 6, 7 is interesting, but frankly not enough. I mean, this one can't be 7, can it? Because it would require this to be a 1, then a 7, and then back to one of these two being a 1. Or actually, only this one, because this is not a 1, and then the 1 is not in reach in this box. So that can't be a 7. So it's the same here. I think that can't be a 7 for the same reason. No, I can... Of course, I haven't thought about this being a 1 on the inside, so ignore what I just said. Oh, it doesn't matter. If this is a 1, it sees 1s here, it sees 1s there, and there are no 1s in reach. So yeah, that couldn't have been a 7. That couldn't have been a 7. So this is 5, 6. We end up with a 4, 5, 6 triple in these two boxes, pardon me. And what does that tell me? I don't know. I mean, it's interesting info, but look. I mean, it feels 7 feels very unlikely, but unlikely is not really good enough. So we said 9, 18, 29, 30, 31. Is there a way for me to get rid of the degree of freedom? Because then it would force a double 6. If these are 4 5s. And the answer is yes, they are 4 5s. I think you need to sort of take a moment to appreciate why. And the clue is very much these two. Now imagine if they are double 1. What does that do to box 5? Well, it says no 1s, no 1s, and then suddenly I have 3 cells that need to be made up of 2 and 3. So these have to be different, removing my degree of freedom in the corners. These end up being 4 5 pairs. This ends up being a 1 2 pair. And obviously, if this is a 1, this is the 1. If this is a... Hang on, let me just think this through. 2 would be 2, 1 would be 1. So this is always 3. And therefore this is always 5. 7 would be too big. And therefore this is always 1. And this is always 9. Lovely. And then of course, because it's a 4 5 pair, it forces both of these to be 6s. These are not 3s. I end up with a 1 2 pair, a 1 2 pair, and a 6. So these are double 9s. We may end up having to color these to disambiguate them, but I'm not sure we need to just yet. And then I have 7, 8, 9, actually 9, just 9. Can I do the same elsewhere? Yeah, no 9s, 9. Yeah, this Sudoku thing is so useful. I should do more of it. 9s. Of course, no 9, no 9 is a 9. No 9 is a 9. I think that's all the 9s, isn't it? Have I got 9 of them? No, one more in here somewhere. There. Which is interesting because the longest one that we have here can't even be a 9. Sorry, I may run out of phone battery despite the fact that it's plugged in and supposedly charging, which is what's my camera. So given this is 7 or 8, and this, I mean, I don't think that can be a 3 anymore. 1, 2, 3 would lead that to a 9. So that can't be a 3. This is a 1 or 2. A different 1 or 2, another 3, another 2, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 2, 3. I'm kind of trying to speed up now. All of a sudden, it's like there's pressure to try and get this done reasonably quickly. These are, no, they're not resolved. Oh, yeah, they are. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, and we've almost got all the fog cleared. So 1 plus either 6 to get to 7 or 7 to get to 8. So it's either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. Now there has to be a 1. These are not the 1s. This is not a 3 or a 4. This is just 2. So this is the 3 or 4. And this is the 7 or 8. The 5, of course, gave me the 4, the 5. I haven't quite, yeah, this, there you go. That arrow sum gives me 6. These don't include a 7 anymore. This had to be minimal. This is another 7, 8 pair. I just don't know why it's not charging. Sorry about that. So I am having to rush suddenly. 7, 8. 6, of course, gave me 4 and 6. And then another 2. 5 and 7. 5 and 7. 6 gave me 5, 6. Hasn't helped me here. 5 gave me 4 and 5. 4 gave me 3, which of course gave me a 7 because it's 6 plus 1. These two cells now are 8 and something. 6 and 8, that's the 6, that's the 8, that's the 7, if I can type. No 5s, no 5, 5. Then 4 and 8, that's the 8, that's the 8 if I can select. 4, 7, 8, 5, 7. How is this 7 when I have a 7-8 pair? Let's try that again. I have a 5-8 pair, excuse me. That's the 8, that's the 5. I've used all the variants at this point. All the arrow sums are done. All the little killer clues are done. So it's just kind of home sailing with Sudoku now. I say home sailing, I mean, sometimes I make it look extremely difficult. That's 7. No, that's not 7. Such as right now, 4. Right, what am I missing? 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Whatever this is, 8, 7, 8. Hang on. What am I doing wrong? This wasn't 8 either. Let's remove the 5, 8. Let's put in whatever it is. 1, 5. That's the 1. That's the 5. We're going to look past that. Just call it jet lag. 8, 7, 8. It would be a shame to kind of ruin what was otherwise a lovely solve. 5. Oh, of course, that 8, if I trust it, 7, 8, 6, 7. Yeah, that's all gone. Right, I need 1s, 2s, 3s. Not useful. 4s. Not useful here either. 5s. 6s. 7, 8. And then 8. And if I've not made any more silly mistakes, 7 for the finish. That's a phenomenal puzzle. Wasn't expecting it to be such smooth sailing. But to be fair, I mean, the little clear clues very much filled us in. So that's the 1, 2, 3. So that much was obvious. And then the 4, 6. And then the fact that you can only have a minimum of 4 places so much pressure on these. So these had to be 1, 2, 3, 4s. Yeah, it came together very smoothly. So like, I imagine you guys are going to find it equally smooth. And maybe the 9 out of 10 difficulty rating isn't quite warranted. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.